40 subs already. 40 subs with a new logo. Alright. So, we're going to be continuing the book that I made with no cover for some reason. So, yeah. Let's go to, I think we're at chapter 4, right? Yeah, chapter 4. Chapter 4, New Friend. Recess ended. Everyone went outside. It went inside, I meant. So sorry about that. Inside for lunch, Foncy was so hungry he couldn't wait to eat. Rudy and Foncy sat together, but when Foncy looked in the bin, he realized his lunch wasn't there. He looked all over and couldn't find it. Rudy shared with him. Rudy shared with him that when Foncy looked outside to the playground, he saw his class at recess. And then he must have ate lunch first. That's why his lunch wasn't in the bin. Whoops. So, his lunch wasn't in the bin? Wait. Oh, yeah, okay. I was just thinking what happened. Okay, never mind. He saw his class. Whoops! Fonzie ran outside, also hoping he would get some more recess time. But when he got there, the class was ready to leave. Fonzie followed them. When they walked into the classroom and sat down, Miss Cyan was very angry with Fonzie. She said, "Fonzie, where were you?" Fonzie replied, "I got lost coming back from the restroom and ended up in the wrong class." Miss Cyan replied, "You should have told the teacher you were in the wrong class and asked for your direction back." "I'm sorry," Fonzie quietly replied. Shortly after, the bell rang to go home. Fonzie was happy. The bus ride home was so quick. When he got there, he went straight to his room without saying hi to Mom or Tooth. Then Fonzie's mom came up to his room and said, "Fonzie, you scared me. I didn't know where you were. Why didn't you come into the kitchen? How was school?" Fonzie replied, "In school there was mean kids bullying me and other people. I got yelled at by my teacher because I got lost. I didn't eat my lunch because I went to recess with the wrong class. It was not a good day, but I did make a friend. But I just miss my old school." Fonzie's mom replied, "I'm so sorry. I hope tomorrow you have a better day. That's great that you made a friend. Listen, I went through this at my school, but you will get through it. It just takes time." Fonzie said, "You're right, Mom. Tomorrow will be a better day." Mom and Fonzie went downstairs for dinner. When they got to the kitchen, Fonzie was excited to eat. It was his favorite yummy banana chicken soup. Fonzie was happy. Smiley face. So, this is where we're up to. I don't know why I did not put a picture here, because this is such a big space. But, yeah. I don't know how Fonzie thinks that yummy banana chicken soup is good. Well, let's just turn the page to chapter 5. I like this chapter. Chapter 5, The Invitation. The next morning, Fonzie woke up excited. The sun was out and it felt like it was going to be a great day. He had waffles with some milk on the side for breakfast. He got ready and rode his bike up to school. When Fonzie got there, he walked his bike in front of the school and stepped inside. He looked around, realizing he's still not sure what direction his class was. He saw a student from his class, so he ran up fast to follow him, so he wouldn't get lost again. Maverick's here. What are you doing? You just want to be here for the read aloud? If you want to be here, you can get a chair. Because we are making a video after this. So, Maverick just has to get ready for the video. So, he's just going to be sitting here for the read aloud for a little. Alright. So, where were we? There. Foncy rode his bike up to school. When he got... Oh, wait. Oh, here. Oh my gosh, I just paused for a second and on the TV outside, it literally was the video of the Summerfest update from that movie. Like, starfish on the ground, wasn't doing anything. Okay, well, I'm getting distracted. Let's go back. Okay, he ran out fast to follow him so he wouldn't get lost again. They got to the classroom early. Foncy sat next to him and said, "What's your name?" "My name is Ethan," he replied. "Do you play Car Dash?" asked Foncy. "Yeah, I do. What's your username?" replied Ethan. They exchanged usernames and talked about Car Dash for a bit. Then Miss Cyan went up to the board. "Good morning, everyone. Today's lesson, we will start off with some multiplication." Foncy learned that 6 times 4 equals 24 and that 8 times 9 equals 72. After the lesson, it was time for recess. Foncy saw Riddy in the hallway on the way to recess. He told Foncy about a fun party at his friend Felix's house this weekend. And at his friend Felix's house this weekend. And he asked Foncy to come to spread the... move? Okay. What? Okay. Okay, guys. Sorry about that. Ooh. Oh, Marek's getting ready. He's putting his headset and controller. He looked around, realizing it was not... okay. Your controller? I don't know. Find it? I'm reading a book before we do the video. I'm reading a book first, okay? Okay. Everyone... Okay, to spread the word to other kids. At recess, Foncy was telling everyone about the party, except the Mercats, aka the bullies. Somebody in my class is AKA the bullies. I don't know why, but they already heard Foncy talking about the party. Foncy did not have a clue they heard him. When Foncy was over the class went to... What? Okay, let's just skip that part. That doesn't make sense. The teacher had a meeting. Oh, when they went over to their third period, the teacher had a meeting, so they were sent to the art room with Miss Cleo. Miss Cleo was so fun. She told everyone to take a seat, and they had a glass mason jars in front of them with shaving cream and food coloring and water. Miss Cleo said, "Today we are going to make a rain cloud in a jar." Oh, wow, that looks so fun. Okay, just you have to wait for a second. We're making the thing. Rain cloud in a jar. Wow, that looks so much fun. It says it is like a science experiment, Fonzie said. In this experiment, the clouds are the shaving cream. Clouds are the shaving cream, and the food coloring is the rain. So as you drop the color water in the weight of the water forces itself to go through to the rain cloud. It forces the cloud to rain down color in the jar. So cool! Fonzie was having so much fun. He didn't want to leave. So you can actually do that science experiment in real life. So you can try it. So yeah. Ethan on the line. We're talking about the party. It was ready to leave. He didn't want to leave. After art class, it was time to line up for the bus to go home. Fonzie saw Ethan online, and they were talking about the party tomorrow and playing Car Dash later. When Fonzie got home, he ran and told his mom about all the fun he had at school, and he told her all about the upcoming party at Felix's house. Okay, so I think we'll just read chapter 6 and then we'll be done. No, actually there's apology, so then we'll be done. Okay, chapter 6, the party. The next day, Fonzie was ready to go to the party. He wore a glitter red bow tie and a blue shirt and black shoes. Fonzie's mom drove him to the party. When he got into the house, he went up to Riddy. Fonzie, you came, said Riddy. Fonzie was excited to go to the bounce house. In the bounce house, there was a basketball hoop. Fonzie and Riddy played basketball for a while. They had fun, and when they got out of there was a game, a slip and slide. Then Fonzie went inside to have some strawberries and eggs with a smoothie. Next up was a game of fishing. Just when the game was about to start, Fonzie saw the Mercats, aka the bullies. They were just pushing somebody. Fonzie ran out of line for fishing and right up to the bullies and screamed, "You guys are always picking or making fun of someone. Why don't you just go home? You must be really unhappy about yourself and treating others the way you do. You guys are not cool. You are fools." The Mercats turned around, looked at Fonzie, and left in their old school car from the party. Fonzie got back online for the fishing game. Fonzie got the golden fish. That means he could get anything. Fonzie decided to get the monster truck for his brother Tooth. When Fonzie's mom picked him up, Fonzie was telling her the party was so great, and he stood up to the bullies from school. Fonzie's mom was so proud of him. When Fonzie got home, he heard a knock at the door. ... And this is chapter 7, the apology. Chapter 7, the apology. Should we just finish it? I'm just going to finish it. Chapter 7, the apology. When Fonzie heard the knock, he was thinking it may be his friend Riddy. So he opened the door, and it was the Mercats, aka the bullies. Fonzie was confused, thinking, how do they know my address? This can't be good, Fonzie thought. They said to Fonzie, we were thinking about what we were doing to you, to the people at the party and at school. We are sorry and we won't do it anymore. You were right. We were being really mean, Fonzie replied. No way. That's awesome. I'm glad you guys realized. It is good to be a good person. You will see, they replied. You can call us the good guys now. They left, and Fonzie closed the door, and he was in shock that they were finally being nice and realized what they were doing was wrong. The next day, Fonzie woke up and ate breakfast and went to school. At lunch, Fonzie went to his table, and the good guys circled around him. If you're wondering who the good guys are, it's basically the Mercats. So, circled around them. Fonzie was ready to walk away, but he remembered yesterday. Fonzie and the good guys talked about treating people with kindness and respect. Fonzie saved the day and helped them realize being kind is cool. Round of the Claws, whatever it's called. So, that is my book. And subscribe for Game Night. Look at this. We have 40 subscribers. 40! That is crazy. I am so happy that we finally have 40. But we have to make it 50. And also, I just wanted to tell you guys, you should be nice to other people and never be a bully. Just be kind. Being kind is cool. And hope you guys enjoy my book. And again, don't bully anybody and be really nice because kind is cool.